I'm now confused. I don't know what's going on. And I don't understand anything. Why, where's the mountain? Why do I have consciousness? I feel like I have my eyes open, but all I see is darkness. And so all these thoughts are running through my head. And then this darkness gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's this crazy thing where it's pitch dark, but I can see in the dark. And way far, far in the distance is a pinprick of light, like a little pop, and pow, light shines, and this is visibly as far away as the furthest star that I could see. But it's the only star in this dark heaven that I'm in. And it rushes toward me. It appears and it rushes toward me, and it begins to fill this darkness with itself really rapidly, traveling an immense distance faster than the speed of light. And I see this thing coming toward me, and it communicates with me telepathically, non-linguistically, no words, just a download of information. And the data was, I'm taking you. And it came with all power. It came with all knowledge. It came with all might. And I'm taking you, and I thought to myself, oh no, you're not. I don't understand what's going on here, but I'm not going anywhere. And I dug down deep inside to put up this willpower that I had, but whatever willpower I had was zero compared to the immensity of the power of this entity. And then this, like a portal, I describe in my book as like a door opens, but I could describe it as a waterfall appears. I could say that it was well, that's the metaphors I'm using. This waterfall appears, and it's made of light itself, and it's a flow, and on its surface, it's all starlight, all sparkle, colors I'd never seen before. It's the most compelling thing I'd ever witnessed. It's seductive. It's drew me toward itself, and so all of my will vanished. All my self-understanding vanished. All I wanted was it. I often tell it in a certain sequence and a chronology that makes sense to my brain, but that's not the way it happened. It was all together. The first thing that happened to me is I went into a hell of my own making. This hell of my own making was all of the pain that I caused in my life. So I experienced all of the suffering that I gave away from the interior view and personal experience of every single person that I hurt in a chronological sequence in my life. I was in every one of them. Simultaneous to being inside of them and experiencing the pain that I had given them, I was outside of them as the person that I had been, with all of my reasons and emotional status, choosing or emotionally reacting to cause that pain. So I had this bilocated experience, and I felt the shame of the pain that I was causing, not just to the people, but to the divine self, because of this immense love and purity that I was simultaneously perceiving from the unlimited Creator who manifests all things, this no thing that is everything. There was a voice. The voice was speaking to me this whole time without language, and it was all around me and inside of me. I know you. I've always known you. Everything about you is known to me. I wasn't being judged. I was simply being shown myself. No matter what I did, I was beloved. And I got bigger and bigger and bigger in this unitive state of this oneness, and I am carried across this vast distance to sort of this edge. And at this edge, my consciousness is poked outside of this field of heaven. And I can see all of our universe. I can see all of our universe. I can see all of the galaxies. And I can see beyond our universe. I can see the origin of our universe. And beyond the origin of our universe, sort of above and below it and beyond it, I see all these other universes. And then my vision shifts, and I see all of humanity, all of the earthly humanity. I see the earth like a hologram and 7 billion people on it. And the message to me is the same. They are all my beloved. Every single one of them. The amount of love that I love you with, this universe upon universe of love and creation and life that I give to you is the same that I have for every single person. And I see inside every single person. I see everybody not like in a dream or in a vision, like they're real. I see them as real human beings living their lives. Half the world is sleeping. People making love, people being tortured. There's wars and babies being born and people are bored and there's art and there's everything and everybody's doing everything. And inside every single person, I see inside them a golden light. And this golden light is gold itself. It is the purity of their divine original self, and it's in every single person. And they cannot see it inside each other. And everything is covered with this thick foam that extends up above the atmosphere. And it's so dense that no one can see the light inside anyone else as I can see it here, making it plainly true that all of the love of all of these multiverses was for everybody. And all of the planets and all of the galaxies and all, not just for us, like everything is particularly beloved. And when I could hear this, then this inflood of love came to me. There was this beauty, joy, understanding, knowledge, bliss, paradise, awe, adoration, wholeness, light, and it expanded inside of me till I inflated like a balloon. I'm inside in this space of infinite comfort. I am the most comfortable I'd ever been in my life. And then this expanse contracted down to a less unitive state because now I remember my human life. And I could see the suffering my parents became right apparent to me. I could see their whole lives of suffering that had accumulated and showed in their faces the disappearance of my sister all of the years since. And I could see the suffering that they would endure were I to die. And I said, do I have to go? And the voice says, why? I say, because my parents lost my sister and there's this open wound. And if I go now, they're going to suffer the loss of me. And how cruel is that? The pain that I caused them in life already. And in the moment that I ask this question, I am swept across heaven. And as I go, I take on more substance. And I'm being carried, the divine self, and this angelic form, this light being. It comes with me. It brings me and I become denser and denser as I travel. And in front of me, I have 1,000,000 entry doors, all of them leading back to this body. But there's all of these doors presented in front of me, and all of them are lives to choose to live. The divine voice says to me, choose, and shows me all of these possibilities. And it says to me, pick the light. And I think, now I kind of pick some of me. I want a little autonomy. I want a creativity. I want a little freedom in my life. And so I don't quite pick the full light. I pick outside of it. And that's my door. And in I go. In that instant, that's where I am. And I speed down this tunnel. And in the process of this rematerialization, I become smaller and smaller and more compact and more crushed and tinier until I am uncomfortably compacted inside this divine being that then, like an ice screw, stabs me into this body and screws me in right into myself. And I have this experience of being like a genie in a bottle, like huge, immense power, teeny tiny living space, and I'm forced inside this, and I don't want it, because entering into this thing was entering into suffering. I had no pain in heaven. There was only healing and wholeness and oneness and beauty and bliss. Pain wasn't forgotten. It didn't exist when I was in the united state.